Hi there, and welcome to the I'll Try That podcast. I'm joined by Mr. Joseph Druitt.
Hello.
And unfortunately not Matthew Barber, because he has decided to go on holiday.
How dare he? That's not allowed.
Relative.
I didn't approve this holiday, so I don't know why he feels he's got the gall to go away on holiday. I did not specifically approve
Slightly
it.
inconsiderate of him, but I'm sure he will come back with many tales of beer-related joy.
Oh, and I hope, because he has been doing this recently, coming back with some goodies, some beer, hasn't he?
Yeah, so
which is always a good shout.
That would be nice. Some beer would always be good. But enough about Matthew Barber enjoying the sun, and more to the episode in hand. So this week is, once again, we have a sponsor, and we're being sponsored by our very good friends, Beer52. And they're bringing a special deal out to all of our lovely listeners this month. So our friends at Beer52, once again, offering you a free case of beer. And this time they're offering not 8, not 9, but 10 new and exclusive beers. Simply go to www.beer52.com/try that and cover just $5.95 postage to get 10 unique beers delivered right to your door. We've been doing this for a little bit now. We've been receiving the cases, and they're absolutely fantastic, giving us a wide plethora of beer for us to enjoy. It's a bit like our beer swap shop, but instead we don't have to meet up in person, do all the effort collecting all of our own beers. It comes straight to your door in a lovely box and all sealed and ready for you to go. And this month, they're showcasing the world's best independent breweries with an exclusive selection of beers from 10 different countries, including Sweden, Belgium, and the USA.
And just to give you a little bit of taste of what's in store, founded by mechanical engineers, Merz-Lutherl are recognized as one of the world's most exciting and innovative breweries. Their IPA is a smooth and flavorful juice bomb with a gentle bitterness that delivers a super drinkable and very moreish beer. A masterclass in brewing for the very best. Also included is a hoppy lager from craft beer legends Omnipollo. Rich has got that one to try, right?
I'm trying the Omnipollo a little bit later on.
Brilliant. I can't wait to hear your review of that one. And a dynamic porter from Spain's highest rated brewery, Barslan. Now remember, we featured Barslan before, didn't we? And absolutely smashed that. Thought it was delicious.
So if you don't like dark beer, just choose the light case, and don't forget you get a couple of tasty snacks, which I'm not going to lie, I opened the box and ate the snacks instantly because they were on top before even looking at the beer. So they were good, and I can't review them on this podcast.
That was a little reward for opening up the box. You know, that was a little Rich reward.
A little treat for Rich. You can also learn all about the fantastic breweries featured in the case and the award-winning Ferment magazine, which I was perusing earlier. I was having a little look through. So even if...
Also, sign up. I sign up now, because in June, you're going to see a lovely advert for the I'll Try That podcast in that episode of Ferment magazine.
We are going places. We're there, and that's what I like to hear. So even after all of that, you are unsatisfied, you can simply pause and cancel any time. So if you're not enjoying it, you can just hit no. So that's www.beer52.com/try that to claim your free case of 10 insanely good beers now. That's beer52.com/try that. So get on it.
Right. Well, without all that kind of ad at the start out the way, Rich, what are you going to be trying today from this 10 case world beer?
So we've both picked out 3, haven't we? Because we thought maybe drinking 10 beers in one sitting might not be our strongest idea.
That's it. So, and normally when we have a third person, i.e. Barber, if he does 3 as well, we're quite close to hitting that 10 mark. But we're just gonna have to have 3 apiece.
And then you're just gonna have to order the box yourself for $5.99. Just cover the postage for $5.95. So you've only got yourself to blame if you don't go and do it. But I am going to try the Halago Hells from Free Assembly. I have the Pale Ale. This is just called the Pale Ale. And I'm going to try the Omnipollo from Carlos Worldwide New Zealand Pilsner. So that's a bit of a mouthful, that one, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Carlos.
That is a bit of a mouthful.
What are you trying, Mr. Druitt?
I've got a wide selection here. So I've got Bad News Beer Company. I've got their Tropical Unicorn Session IPA, which I've already consumed and it's delicious. Just a spoiler alert. I've got the Booth's Daedong Pale Ale. Now the Booth is a South Korean craft beer brewery. So yeah, excited to get that. And we've also got the Tolokasi Marula Farmhouse Ale from South Africa.
Oh.
So I'm excited because I went wide with my selection of beers. So, and I should say as well, Bad News Beer Company is brewed in Zagreb, Croatia.
Oh.
So yeah, a couple of times, a few new countries on our list from this world beer.
Can I also send out a huge apology to all of the breweries if we are butchering the names of your beer name, of the name of your beer company? I am truly sorry, because once again, I'm absolutely useless, as we can see from other episodes, pronouncing people's names. Joe normally is there to correct me, thank God. But can I just send out an apology across the board right now from the top? If we are butchering the pronunciation, I'm incredibly sorry, but I'm sure the beer is bloody good.
And there was something I had to pick you up from the last episode that I edited, where you did tell the world, and I'm sorry it didn't get more time in the sun, Rich, but you did tell the world that you have been diagnosed with needing to wear glasses. And I'm sorry that we didn't give enough attention to you being diagnosed needing glasses.
I've been diagnosed to wear glasses. I managed to go 33 years of my life not having to wear glasses until they diagnosed me with glasses.
It's not diagnosed. That's so over the top. Diagnosed glasses.
I didn't even realize I'd said that now.
I'm sorry, guys, but we're going to lose Rich to short-sightedness.
Yeah, it's actually long-sighted, but it's.
Well, that's okay, because naturally, as you get older, you get more short-sighted, so it will even itself out in the long run, Rich. You know,
in theory, I'll be back to 20/20 vision in no time. So
by the time you're about 60, 70 years old,
I'll be able to be a fighter pilot again.
That's it. Really. Top Gun. Rich.
Yeah, I'm not sure what my call sign would be, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Water Boy.
Yeah, maybe fried chicken instead of rooster.
Fried chicken, rooster. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Shall I start? As I don't need to have glasses to read about this beer. So I'm currently drinking the Halago Hells from Free Assembly. And the reason I picked this can is, I'm not going to lie, predominantly just the can art is absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you can see it, Joe, but it is just various whales drinking beer, which I think is
that's too good.
Absolutely fantastic.
And they're kind of like caricature whales, right? They're not photorealistic whales.
Yeah, they're a bit rough and ready, if that makes sense for the drawing, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And I was like, you know what? I've got to try this because it looks absolutely fantastic just because of the art. And it's from Free Assembly. And you know what? It's a Pilsner, which normally aren't my, not normally my go-to, normally my favorite, but I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying the description of it. Beer aromas, bready and banana.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
when I think of a banana-y based beer, I always go to banana bread. Remember we tried that banana bread beer? I think I've forgotten who it's by now. Are you getting these kind of banana-y notes as they're describing it?
Yeah, I am getting a little bit of a hint, which is quite nice. Not kind of like your banana bread beer that we were drinking, which was, oh my God, that's kind of like kicking me right now with banana. And I love banana, like, do not get me wrong. But yeah, it's a nice balance, which is good. And it is really crisp coming through. And it is quite a bold, distinctive flavour, which I'm really, really liking. That's good. And
that sounds delicious. And the can art alone is enough to pick it up. But I would definitely from what you're saying, that sounds well worth the pick.
And the thing is, you can only get the Halago Hells is if you get the Beer52 box.
Oh.
It's a Beer52 exclusive. And this is, so this is actually, we haven't gone too far away. This is this is an English brewery called from, in Atherstone, England. I've never been to Atherstone.
Atherstone? Where is Atherstone?
I'm not too sure. I'm just trying to find it. Atherstone.
Oh.
Atherstone. Right, this is taking longer than I want it to. Atherstone, England. Where's it? Show me on the map. Give me a minute. I thought I'd found it, then it just told me it's in Atherstone. It's in Church Lane. Where they're just expanding the map out. It's near just the other side of Birmingham. It's actually near our neck of the woods, Joe.
I've never heard of that in my life. So
there we go.
Learn something new every day. Every day's a school day, right?
Yeah, and I believe they're probably quite a small brewery at the moment, because I can't find much of their presence online apart from like Untapped and everything like that. But it's pretty good. So I would go and give them a go.
Well, I'll bring another one to your attention that is a Beer52 exclusive. Okay. This is the Tropical Unicorn Session IPA by Bad News Beer Company. And the can art, like your one, is just utterly brilliant. It's really quite eye-popping. Yeah. It's got a bit of like, could this be an energy drink kind of vibe going on? But very cool, like a really nice illustration of like some sort of like dead unicorn with like, eyes popping out of its face. But it's not like dark and, moody like a porter could be. It's like all light and airy and like kind of lovely. Yeah. So it's quite a funny juxtaposition. And so what can I tell you about this one? So, I'm going to read their tasting notes because they are hilarious. Gallop away on fluffy clouds of pillowy oats before skipping down a magic rainbow of berries, apricot, passion fruit, grapefruit, bright orange, tangerine, mango, and coconut, all courtesy of Simcoe, Citra, and Sabro hops. The ultimate easy drinking experience for true hopheads. This unicorn just made all your wishes come true. And I started, this was the first drink I had today. And I haven't drunk for probably like a week or so. And yeah, it was really delicious. It hit exactly on the head. I didn't get like an oatiness, I must say. But then in saying that, I got all the kind of the citrusy, I could tell there was a bit of Simcoe in there, obviously being like a kind of a session-y IPA, but it was quite sophisticated. Yeah. It wasn't like your average IPA that's like overly bubbly and kind of like, or even a bit juvenile. I'd say like I'd put like a kind of a tiny rebel, like overly sweet. Yeah. Kind of, kind of flavor palette coming in. Okay. It was, it went down really well, but it wasn't like too sweet or anything like that, I must say. And so a little bit, I guess, about Bad News Beer Company before we move on. So it's brewed in Zagreb, Croatia. They look to only really have 2 beers outside of this exclusive that I've said for Beer52. And they've got a Snappy APA, which is a West Coast Pale Ale. And they've got a Peach Player Vegan Milkshake IPA, and the can designs for both of those are quite fun. They're quite poppy. They're quite Gen Z. And yeah, they talk to themselves as the thirst quenching beers for adventurous drinkers. Oh, okay. So nice. Yeah. That's quite cool. I like that. I couldn't find them on Instagram or anything like that. They don't seem to really exist outside of this one website page, which has got Beer52 in collaboration with Mike Hughes plastered all over it. So I don't know if this Mike Hughes and, Beer52 like really what's behind that. But anyway, it's a tasty brew and it went down well. Nice. Well, looks like you're handing back over to me. So once again, as I said, I kind of chose my beers on the designs on the can. So I've gone for a German craft or contemporary German craft beer. So it was from a brewery called Bruro, Buro. So I believe I'm spelling it right. And I took a sip of it. And while you were just speaking then, Joe, I had to have a minute just to appreciate this is a really good beer. And nice. Yeah, which I was like, and it is just called Pale Ale from Bruro. And Joe, I don't know if you can see, it's got like a 3-eyed bunny on it. Oh, wow. That's fun. And kind of like a real, it doesn't really, I think the thing that what's that in the bunny's eyes? I'm assuming this is eyeballs would be my take home. But they're like S shapes. Yeah, S, he might have taken something. I'm not too sure. I suppose, yeah. But, so I had a sip of it and I was a little bit taken aback at how much I enjoyed it straight off the tongue. Sometimes it takes a couple of sips for me to kind of get into the beer and everything like that and be like, ooh, wow. And it is an absolute hoppy sensation would be the best way to describe it. I'm just going back in for a second hit. Kind of like, so you hit with this instant hoppy taste and then it just kind of mellows out a little bit and it's quite, so you got like a hoppy hit and then you've got a nice mellow, hoppy, hazy taste coming through. And it's probably up there with some of the best things, one of the nicest things I've tried this year coming through brewery. I was on their website and it doesn't look like they have
many beers. It looks like they've got 3, and this looks like it's been brewed for Beer52. The website doesn't give me too much information about their history or anything like that. Just kind of that they're based in Germany and they brew exclusively with local malt and hops from the Hallertau region, and we aim to bring the finer examples of German beer styles combined with regional ingredients and delivered with style and creativity. But what I think I quite like is they seem to be the reason their artwork is so good. It looks like they've combined with an artist called Yi Weller, who I've never heard of myself, but he has, if you go onto his website...
Well, it's got to be a artist if it's called Yi Weller,
yeah.
You know?
But if you pop onto it...
You couldn't be an accountant with that name, could you?
But if you pop onto the website of the Yi Weller, you can see he's got some like really good, like funky characters, kind of like very cartoonish characters, but maybe with a slight dark side sort of thing. The characters seem to be like they've got a bad apple that looks like it has a razor blade with him. So nice. But excellent beer. I would recommend trying.
So for this next one, we're actually going to travel to South Korea for the first time on this podcast, which I was super excited for. So this is the Booth, and this is their Daedong Pale Ale. Again, apologies if that is a mispronunciation. Let me give you a little bit of background on the Booth. So their core philosophy is drink, challenge, love. They believe in following your passion, and for us, it's brewing high quality craft beer that will tap the challenge in all of us. With every sip, we hope our creation will bring love and inspire you as always. So they were born as a small craft beer and pizza pub in Seoul, Korea in 2013, and has since opened several locations around the city. They place a heavy emphasis on crafting award-winning beers with unique and creative branding. We are notable for Daedonggang Pale Ale, inspired by an article written by Daniel Tudor titled Fiery Food, Boring Beer. Which there's definitely got to be a story behind that one, which I don't know. But this is really good. It's a lovely pale ale. The can design, I'm going to put that against the screen again for you. Again, another one, like quite simple, quite kind of like they've used the silver of the can really well. Like it's like this lovely blue, and then the silver of the can kind of like comes out with these white hits. Like it looks like a sea, like you're in the sea. And they've got this really interesting kind of like, I want to say like a mascot, but it's like a caricature. It's like a one-eyed, like monster looking thing, but like friendly, not like a scary monster, but like a friendly, like monster. It I could have said, oh, it looks like a bunny, but it's got like 3 ears if it is a bunny and 1 eye. So it's definitely not a bunny. But if you look into the Booth online, they have done so many beers. Their whole website is just like got a recent beers section, and there's endless. Like there's so many different kind of beers. Oh, and actually, just going back to the little one-eyed alien type thing. So it's called Dokabi.
Yeah.
And it's a booster sprang up when friends toasting beer glasses. He's very curious and loved to try something new. We believe he could be a sparkle in your life. We need him to work his magic for Drink Challenge Love. So apparently he gets activated when friends are cheersing beers together.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. Very nice. And I can give you some Instagram notes. So the Booth Brewing on Instagram have 16,000 followers. So well done, the Booth. And actually, I love their Instagram. It's really poppy, vibey, really bright colors. Yeah, they actually have hosted like a festival called the Booth DCL Camp.
Oh, okay.
Which they have a video on their website, which look really fun. Really cool. Lots of like acts, lots of music, like poetry. Yeah, really cool.
Oh.
Lots of dancing.
So tell you what, we've reviewed a lot of beers coming out from Asia, but it was from South Korea. I think that's the first one, which is pretty cool.
And it's very different to anything I've had from coming out from Asia. And obviously they're meant to be the case, right? South Korea, it's a pale ale, but it's very hop forward. It's got a lot of like citrusy and orangey notes.
Yeah.
But I did get this kind of like grapefruity and they say that it's got hints of stone fruit, which I don't say I could tell you what stone fruit is, but it was delicious. It had quite a floral kind of note to it, but yeah, it was a lovely like mouth feel. It tasted really nice and went down really well.
I like that. Whenever anyone says mouthfeel, I just get a little bit uncomfortable, and I don't know why. I just get a little bit of shudder. Just mouthfeel as a description. Just yeah.
Just don't like a bit of mouthfeel.
Just don't like a bit of mouthfeel. Well, so I've moved on to Omnipollo and their Carlos Worldwide New Zealand Pilsner. which comes from Omnipollo, which is a brewery out of Sweden, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. And it was a brewer and an artist who got together to start Omnipollo Brewery, which I think is really, really cool. So that's why I've been looking through all of their cans, and all of their cans and designs are based on kind of like pop culture, which is quite cool. And the artist is like very heavily involved in all of them. So I'm just flicking through all of the can designs on there, and there's not one that I don't look at and go, that's pretty cool. And you could kind of put them all together to almost make an absolutely fantastic collage. I don't know if you're able to get up their website, Joe, and just generally just to look at their archived beers. And I think you'll be a similar, they've got some like wax dip tops as well, which I think are really cool.
Nice.
And just having to scroll through it almost, you could do a whole Tate gallery kind of display of just the cans of all of these beers, which I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be the kind of exhibit I want to. But enough about the art, which is a great thing. But the beer itself is a can. It looks like it's got a world map on it, which is pretty cool. And some funky bubble writing on. But the actual liquid inside is, it's not as fizzy as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to have a few more bubbles, but it's got a nice little fizz to it. And just a nice, I feel it's an odd way to state it, but a stable flavour.
Okay.
Yeah, which is like a
stable flavour.
I'm not too sure. The words come to my mouth and I'm not too sure how I'm going to kind of expand on it from there. But it is a really nice, it's not too hoppy, it's not too in your face. It's quite a mild, like a little bit of a citrusy flavour coming through. Which is really nice.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to go back in again, won't it? I'm just going to just going to find the tasting notes for it and see if they line up with what I'm thinking. Just give me 1 minute. Omnipollo. There we go. Pecan and chocolate. I'm not getting that. I'm not going to lie. That's because that's the stout Omnipollo was put in, not the one I'm drinking. Right there. That's that one. Where has it gone? We can edit this. Give me a minute. Omnipollo. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah. So citrusy and fruity, which I'm getting, and golden drinkable hoppy lager. Which, yeah, I get that. And it has got a little bit of malty. Sorry.
Bit of malty.
Sorry, I've just had a few burps then. I feel very bad then. But I am.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it just kind of all.
That's a bit too much information, mate.
And it has, and it is a little bitter coming through, which I'm really, really enjoying. But I think what I'm really sold on is just the artistic side of all of this. It does feel like I'm drinking from a piece of art. So kudos to these guys.
Have you checked out their Instagram by any chance?
I haven't. Are you on it? Or am I going to?
I am.
Yeah.
Omnipollo, if you look for it on Instagram. Yeah, 163,000 followers, which is impressive.
Understandable.
But they also have a wide range of what looks to be beer ice cream type thing. Basically, they are beers with like these tops.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen anything quite like it. It's fascinating. It's like the head, but like, and some. But yeah, look, really fascinating.
Oh yeah.
Also, they've got a beer which I love to bits. It's called Light Crispy Boys, which is an American lager.
Yeah,
which I think is quite funny. Light Crispy Boys.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, these like what do you say that they're like kind of like cream tops, aren't they?
They're like, I'm just looking. It's almost if I was served that in a pub, I'd be a little bit annoyed just to how big the head was. But
is that a head or is it a? Is it something else? Is it like cream? I don't know. It looks quite interesting, doesn't it?
So I'm just looking. It must be. I'm just looking at one of those, like a bright red Omnipollo plus Burley. I'm not too sure what that is, but it's interesting. I'm really enjoying it though. Like there's one that looks like it's got a bun on top of it.
Oh, it's a Cobbler Lassie Ghost. So it's like a slushy beer. Hilarious.
Oh, I
That's
love
quite
that.
funny. Yeah, so they're doing some fun stuff with beer. They're not taking it too seriously, but they're doing some cool stuff. Yeah, Omnipollo, someone I've heard about. And I was looking at their jobs to see if I can get you a job, Rich.
Oh, yeah?
Because I feel like this is a company you go. So they've got openings in Tokyo, in their Omnipolos Tokyo bar, and their Hamburg one as well. So if you want to go to either of those places, and then they've got 3 by the looks of things in Sweden itself.
I'd move to Tokyo. Yeah. I feel I'd fit in.
Yeah?
I feel there's a lot going on in Tokyo, sort of thing.
There's a lot happening in Tokyo.
There's a lot happening
it's a very cool city.
I think there was I read an interesting article about Tokyo that there's a big business for professional cuddlers.
Nice.
So, yeah,
okay.
people are wanting people who know how to cuddle professionally sort of thing. And then you can
Wow.
hire someone to come and cuddle you for like half an hour or so. And just,
Half an hour is quite a very long time for a cuddle.
yeah. So I think that may be a business I could get into if maybe working for Omnipollo doesn't work out.
Yeah. It's your back hustle. I mean, you've got to back yourself for your cuddling abilities. If you're thinking you could go pro, you can go professional with your hugging.
I say I could give a pretty damn good cuddle sort of thing. You've had a cuddle from me before, Joe, and it's the...
That's true. That's true. Now I think about it, that was like a professional hug.
Professional hug. You would pay me money for that kind of cuddle.
Yeah, I'd pay you money to stop cuddling me, that's for sure. Especially when trying to hold on to me for 30 minutes. That's
yeah. So if not working for Omnipollo doesn't work, I'll go professional cuddling in Japan.
Nice, do it. I believe in you, Rich. I think if anyone can make that career change, it's you.
Yeah.
So the last beer I'm really excited to talk to you about. So talking to you about Tolokazi, which is a South African-based brewery.
Yeah.
They are a multiple award-winning range of premium craft beers and ciders.
Okay.
And they use premium indigenous African ingredients in their brews, such as sorghum, rooibos, and African queen hop.
Oh, okay.
To name a few things. And I want to tell you a little bit about their story. So they're not a new brand. They're a revamp of the Brewster's craft range.
Yeah.
But they're staying true to their name of Brewster being in the term, which is the name for a female brewer. So the Tolokazi team is made up entirely of women who are passionate about crafting unique brews.
Excellent.
The Tolokazi range showcases indigenous African ingredients, as I mentioned before, to create a distinctive taste that reflects the cultural diversity and heritage of their community. And they are proudly 100% black female owned.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing. Yeah. So their founder seems to be like incredible. In 2019, brewmaster Apiwe Nuksawi ni Mawela launched her own beer and cider brand, Tolokazi. Tolokazi is Nuksala Mawela's clan name, which she says are like family names with more significance to the Xhosa people than a surname. As a sign of respect, African female brewers are typically called by clan names. And there's a photo of her as well, and she looks absolutely phenomenal, like just bossing it.
Yeah.
And so their whole team is made up of a majority of young women who are passionate about their brand and about the industry itself. So, and I haven't even talked about the beer yet. So that's just kind of setting up the Tolokazi, right? And the last beer I think from Africa we had was Tusker, right? Okay. And that was what you remember, like a lager that was, pretty good. I could imagine if you're sat in the, you're sat in amongst wilderness, that would be brilliant. This is a Marula Farmhouse Ale. Okay. And I've never had a Marula Farmhouse Ale before in my life. This was exquisite. Honestly, one of the best beers I've ever had in my life. And I've never experienced a taste like it.
So I was only going to drink those three beers until you just described everything you just described then. So I've just dug into my box to find the Tolokazi Farmhouse Ale just so I can try it, because you've not sold me on a beer this much in a long time, Joe. So I'm just going to crack it open. You can hear me crack it open right there. So
I'm going to, while you try that, I'm just going to give the listeners a bit of the tasting notes about what to expect. Okay. So it's an African inspired farmhouse ale style beer. Sorghum malt, so again, that's that African malt, used as part of the grain bill, adds to the malt character complexity. Marula flavor supports the spicy and fruity characteristics of yeast type used, refreshing and easy drinking. So it's quite high on the bitterness scale. It's got a 4, but my God, is that like fruity, bitter? Like, it's a really interesting, complex flavor, isn't it?
I've genuinely, I cracked it open and I was hit with this like fruity aroma to start with. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, I had a swig. That's pretty goddamn good. I don't think I've tried a farmhouse. Have we tried a farmhouse ale before?
No. Well, no, absolutely not. Yeah, especially not a Marula one.
No, a Marula farmhouse ale. This is something else, Joe. This is like,
it is, mate, isn't it?
I
take it off to the Tolokazi team. They know how to make a beer. That is exquisite. So And you're not going to find this, thank you, Beer52, for bringing this beer and this brand to our attention, this brewer to our attention, because there is no way I'd have come across this brewery at all. I mean, Instagram, they've got 4,000 followers, which is not insignificant, but it's also like they're not hitting, international levels, right, with that number. And their Twitter or their X account is actually going to the Brewster ZA, which is the Brewmeister's, Apiwe's personal Twitter account, basically.
Oh, really?
So, it was just cool. Like, it's great to see all the events she's at and, her getting getting recognition, national recognition for all this fantastic stuff. And on the 6th of April, you were invited to go to celebrate Apiwe's birthday. So she was holding like a big party for her birthday, so you could go along to it, which is
absolutely
brilliant.
Fantastic.
So,
I'm going to throw that out there. If anything, just get the Beer52 box so you can try the Marula Farmhouse Ale.
Yeah. I think it's incredible.
It's well and truly worth the $5.95 just for this beer alone. You'd pay that in a pub in London. And that's only for one pint.
10 beers. You get 10 beers.
10 of them. Just go and do it. It's easy. It's easy. I'm annoyed if you don't do it. I'm annoyed at you if you don't, just to try this farmhouse ale that I'm going to finish. Just do it. Yeah. Do it.
So it's worth it for that farmhouse ale. So if you do want to try this farmhouse ale, go to www.beer52.com/try that. That's beer52.com/try that. And go get this Tolokasi beer. I mean, again, I'm excited to try the beers that you've had, Rich. They sounded delicious as well. The two that I've had already were really good. There's plenty of others in here. Like I've seen a Gypsy Hill.
Oh, it's a Gypsy Hill in
which
there?
Obviously we like. I've seen a Gypsy Hill, which we like the Gypsy Hill guys. They do they make a nice beer.
I've got a jump. It says Gypsy Hill.
My God, this Marula Farmhouse Ale by Tolokasi.
I think we need to get her on the podcast. We should reach out to her. We'll reach out to her and see if we can get a whole interview with her. This is wonderful.
I think as part of the reach out, we just sent her a snippet of this last couple of minutes of us just gushing about how fantastic the beer is, and hopefully that'll entice her to come on and chat with us.
I would like to point out all the beers we've tried tonight have been really, really nice, but the standout has been this Marula Farmhouse. I'm going to keep saying Marula Farmhouse Ale. Try it now.
Go. Get
it done.
So anyway, thank you very much, Beer52, again, for sponsoring another episode. Thank you for introducing us to all these fantastic beers. And more importantly, for this Tolokasi Marula Farmhouse Ale. Thank you for bringing that into our lives.
Yeah. I'm going to sleep well tonight. That's all I know. Sleep well thinking of Tolokasi Farmhouse Ale. Marula Farmhouse Ale.
And that's all we have time for this week's episode of the I'll Try That podcast. And so from me, Joe,
Rich,
Barbara, and Simo,
goodbye. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram,
Twitter,
I'll try that podcast.com,
and watch us on YouTube.
Goodbye now.